Browns fans, we are getting closer to that final roster cut, and I know the deep Browns fans and football fans in general, you live for football time like this because you're going to see players balling out, trying to make that 53-man roster, but once they do, we always get a couple guys who, I don't know, maybe fly under the radar a little bit. So hop down in the comments. Let me know, who do you guys think is the most underappreciated Browns player, maybe from last year or even into this year, whoever you may think it could be. I'm not going to put a timeline on it, but hop down in the comments and let me know who you think the most underappreciated Browns player is. Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report. I'm Matthew Peterson, and we've got the third round of cuts coming up. So leading into it, I've got 5 Browns surprise cut candidates for you guys. These are players who may have been on the inside looking out and all of a sudden on the outside looking in. And let's unpack things, starting with one of the incumbent returners from the Browns roster, running back DErnest Johnson, RB3 for the last 2 seasons, and the reason why he's really on this list is first 2 seasons with the Browns. I mean, he's the third running back, so he's not going to get a lot of touches to begin with anyway, and he hasn't disappointed, but he also has not wowed you, right? You check out the numbers through 2020, and that's when he got pretty much all of his carries in his career. 166 yards, I mean, that's not bad. He's got a crowded depth chart in front of him between Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So, of course, Johnson isn't going to get a lot of touches. But the reason why he finds himself on this list is I'm looking at those 2 names at the bottom, Demetric Felton and John Kelly. If you watch the Browns Week 2 preseason game, you probably noticed those 2 guys jumping out at you in the second half. Now, granted, it was against a lot of Giants backup players, but still, those are guys that made a ton of noise. So, I need you guys to do me a favor. Let me know. Pick an RB3 here. Who do you think it might be? If it's DErnest Johnson, type DJ. Felton, give me a DF, or John Kelly. How about a JK down in the comments? Me personally, I'm torn between Johnson and Felton. I'm going to go with Demetric Felton just because he adds that extra element of being a wide receiver, which could save you a wide receiver spot. You could have one guy with 2 legs in both those ponds. Next up on the surprise candidates, how about we shift over to the defensive side and check out safety Sheldrick Redwine. Made a couple nice plays last year. Had an interception for the Browns, came off the bench, and he was good all around. I'm not going to deny it. Nice PBU. I mean, this isn't against Redwine's performance as much as it is just looking at this Browns secondary. It's really crowded, all right? So you check out the safety depth chart here. You've got Ronnie Harrison and John Johnson. Free agency acquisitions, they're not going anywhere. What's a little interesting is Grant Delpit. He is still out with an injury. Achilles last year, hamstring right now. So that may be Redwine's saving grace because Richard LeCounte III, wow, what a preseason he is having so far. He's got 2 interceptions, 1 in each game, and so he's gunning for a spot. So if the Browns opt to just go with 4 safeties instead of 5, maybe LeCounte could take Redwine's spot. That's what I'm watching for right now. Next up is Elijah Lee. Had a ton of playing time on special teams last year, the linebacker, and that's what he's really able to do and help out with is on that special teams unit. But at the end of the day, special teams can only take you so far. And you check out the linebacker depth chart here, and it's loaded with names. I mean, every single team's preseason and training camp, they've got tons of position groups where, hey, this isn't one you want to be in. For the Browns, the linebacker spot wasn't at the top of the list, but it definitely wasn't at the bottom of the list either. So you got Fields, a 5th-round rookie draft pick out of West Virginia. How about JOK making some noise? And then I'm looking at Elijah Lee. I see 3 names at the top there. Those are all locks, and I only have spots for probably 3 more guys, which may have Elijah Lee on the outside looking in. Browns fans, if you guys want to make some money off your Cleveland knowledge, how about you head over to one of the best sportsbook out there where we are partnered with BetUS. Here's the deal. It's really simple, guys. You go to the link down below, chatsports.com/bet. Then you use the promo code Browns125. And what BetUS is going to do is they're going to add on a 125% deposit bonus. Now, put the calculator away. What that means is say you put in $100. They're going to tack on an additional 125%. So you're walking away with $225 in your pocket to spend on the Browns Week 3 preseason game if you'd like. You don't have to. You can save it for the regular season. Spread it out. I don't care. That's up to you. But that Week 3 preseason game is a little interesting. It could be free money for just two reasons. One, haven't seen Baker Mayfield yet. Head coach Kevin Stefanski maybe wants the dress rehearsal for him and some other stars like OBJ to be in Week 3, which would not be good for the Falcons, who are probably going to roll with a bunch of backups. And the unders are hitting a ridiculous amount in the preseason. Not a good day for the offenses on the weekend. So look at that Browns -5 and the under on 36. Next up for cut candidates, it is wide receiver Davion Davis. He finds himself on this list just for a couple of reasons. One, this was a long shot for a wide receiver position group for the Browns. Probably only going to take 6 guys. We got 4 locks already. Then I've got room for just 2 more. But Davis recently was announced he's been suspended for the first 2 games of the regular season. This stems from a DUI arrest back in 2019 when he was on the Vikings practice squad. He can still participate in the final Week 3 preseason game, though. And this doesn't necessarily mean he is for sure out of the Browns because they saw this coming in a lot of ways. Check out what beat reporter Cameron Justice tweeted about this situation. Browns' Kevin Stefanski said the team knew about Davion Davis pending 2-game suspension for a 2019 traffic/DWI charge in Minnesota when they signed him in July. Here's what Stefanski had to say. He's grown. He's a mature young man. I think he now knows he made a mistake. So this isn't like groundbreaking news for the Cleveland Browns front office, and this isn't maybe why he's landing on this list, but it's more so because this was a tough wide receiver room to crack anyway, and so you don't want any skeletons in your closet when you're already on the fringe, even if they knew that before. But we'll have it now, not in the past. So unfortunately for Davis, that may catch up to him. And finally, the 5th roster cut candidate, it is JoJo Natson, another wide receiver. He was part of that Browns special teams last season. He's kind of bounced around a little bit, been serviceable on punt return, some kick return action too. But overall for Natson, it's just tough to make a roster when all you can really add is special teams. You look at the depth chart here for the wide receiver group, all 4 names at the top locked. I'm also going to toss in Anthony Schwartz, a lock. We're at 5 right now. I've got room for 1 more, most likely. Kadarrell Hodge, JoJo Natson, and Davis are the leading candidates for that 6th spot. Maybe they take a 7th. I don't think so, though. It's tough to say. That's why I've got Natson probably a good cut candidate. But, guys, let me know down in the comments, where did I go wrong? Did I exclude someone from the list, or am I way out of bounds on one of these guys? Hop down in the comments. Let me hear it. Or if maybe you think I went right, and I appreciate that, let me know as well.